They made her crawl on her hands and knees through the school hallway. The new teacher, the woman who came to educate their children. 3 teenagers surrounded her, filming on their phones, laughing as she moved across the cold tile floor like an animal. They posted it online with the caption, "Our new pet teacher." The video went viral in their small town. Parents saw it. Students shared it. The school board watched in horror. But what those bullies didn't know was that their new teacher wasn't just an educator. She had a past they couldn't imagine. And when she finally stood up, what happened next became the most watched moment in that school's history. 1 uppercut, 3 bodies, and a lesson no one would ever forget. Sarah Mitchell arrived at Riverside High on a cold Monday morning in October. She was 32 years old, with kind eyes and a quiet demeanor that made her seem almost fragile. The principal introduced her as the new English teacher, replacing Mrs. Henderson, who had retired after 40 years. Sarah smiled politely, shook hands with the staff, and carried her books to classroom 204 on the 2nd floor. She wore simple clothes, spoke softly, and seemed almost too gentle for a place like Riverside High. What nobody knew was that Sarah Mitchell had spent 8 years as a military police officer before becoming a teacher. She had served 2 tours overseas, trained in hand-to-hand combat, and earned a black belt in 3 different martial arts. She had left the military after witnessing too much violence, hoping to find peace in education. But she carried those skills with her, hidden beneath her soft exterior like a weapon in a velvet case. The trouble started on her 3rd day. 3 students, Marcus Webb, 17, the captain of the football team, Derek Chen, 16, whose father owned half the businesses in town, and Ashley Rodriguez, 17, the most popular girl in school. They ruled Riverside High like royalty, and they had destroyed 4 teachers before Sarah arrived. It began with small things. Marcus would walk into class 20 minutes late, sitting on Sarah's desk instead of his own. Derek would play music on his phone during lessons, refusing to turn it off. Ashley would paint her nails in the front row, the chemical smell filling the classroom while other students tried to focus. Sarah responded with patience. She never raised her voice. She never threatened detention. She simply continued teaching, as if their behavior didn't exist. This patience infuriated them. Other teachers had yelled, had sent them to the office, had played their game. But Sarah refused to engage. So they escalated. They started spreading rumors. They told other students Sarah had been fired from her last school for inappropriate behavior. They photoshopped her face onto embarrassing images. They created fake social media accounts in her name. Still, Sarah remained calm. She taught her lessons. She graded papers. She smiled at students in the hallway. Then came the incident that changed everything. It was a Friday afternoon, last period. Most teachers had already left for the weekend. Sarah was walking down the east hallway, carrying a stack of books to her car. Marcus, Derek, and Ashley were waiting. They had planned it carefully, positioning themselves where the security cameras had blind spots. Marcus stepped in front of her, blocking her path. Derek grabbed her books and threw them across the floor, papers scattering like autumn leaves. And Ashley, with her phone already recording, said the words that would become infamous. "Pick them up, on your hands and knees, like the dog you are." Sarah looked at the 3 of them. For a long moment, she said nothing. Students had begun gathering, sensing something was about to happen. Phones came out. The recording started. Marcus stepped closer, his 6'3" frame towering over Sarah's 5'6" body. He pushed her shoulder, not hard enough to knock her down, but hard enough to make his point. "You heard her. Crawl." And Sarah did. She got down on her hands and knees. She crawled across that hallway floor, picking up papers one by one while 3 teenagers laughed and filmed. She moved slowly, deliberately, her face showing no emotion. The crowd of students grew larger. Some laughed, others looked away in discomfort. But everyone watched. Everyone recorded. Sarah collected the last paper. She stayed on her knees for a moment, as if accepting her humiliation. Marcus stepped closer, his phone out, ready to capture his moment of victory. "Say it," he demanded. "Say you're our dog." That's when Sarah moved. She rose from the floor in one fluid motion, faster than anyone thought possible. Her right fist came up in a perfect uppercut, connecting with Marcus's jaw with a sound like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon. His feet left the ground. His phone flew from his hand. He was unconscious before his body hit the lockers behind him. Derek rushed forward. Sarah's left hook caught him in the temple. He dropped like a puppet with cut strings. Ashley screamed, backing away, but Sarah was already walking past her, leaving both boys unconscious on the hallway floor. She picked up her books, straightened her shirt, and walked to the principal's office. She knocked politely, entered, and said 3 words. "I resign." Effective immediately. The videos went viral within hours, but the narrative wasn't what Marcus, Derek, and Ashley had expected. People didn't see a teacher being humiliated. They saw a woman making a choice, enduring abuse to avoid violence, and defending herself only when physically threatened. They saw 3 bullies getting exactly what they deserved. The police reviewed the footage. Sarah was cleared of all charges, self-defense. Marcus and Derek faced assault charges. Ashley's college acceptance was revoked after universities saw her role in the incident. Sarah never taught again. But her story became a lesson anyway. Sometimes the quietest people carry the loudest thunder. Sometimes patience isn't weakness, but restraint. And sometimes the person you think you're breaking is actually deciding whether or not to break you. The question isn't who can survive the storm. It's who has the wisdom to walk away, and the strength to stand when walking away is no longer possible.